Start recording. Start broadcasting once again. Is everything cool? How are you doing? I'm gonna look at the chat. Find out if the demon voice continues. Okay. This is my new favorite episode. It's Creepy Porpoise. Or TV Dinner, sorry. Great. I'm assuming what happened was because of two softwares that required audio opening and then switching. This is why I do the amateur voice acting experience. I don't do the professional audio technician experience. It's a completely different thing. Oh, how long ago did that start happening though? Because I can't actually hear what I'm saying. Not in life, just off the computer. So, yeah, because everyone was just like, oh, I lost the chat too. I can't actually see what happened. It's all gone. Well, anyhoozle, how you doing? Show's here again. When did I start cutting out? Because you probably missed a really good story. Oh well, tell you guys some other time. About I don't even know what happened at 9:35. What was the last sentence? Just before the bag. Really? Oh. Oh well. I said some great stuff. It'll just remain in my heart. But yeah, so that's happening. Amateur voice acting experience. If you're coming out to Con Bravo, there's prizes. Oh, check it. I just gained today, because the funny thing is, getting prizes is actually pretty easy. You sounded possessed. Really? Maybe I was. I'll just double check the playback at some point and be like, oh my god, I put you guys through that? Who am I? Getting prizes is actually kind of interesting. All you gotta do is really ask. And so I just acquired a bunch of tickets for the August 1st screening of Paranorman down here in Toronto. I'm going to try to hand them out at the workshop. I do bear in mind that the workshop the con is in Burlington. So maybe I'll ask first. But if, I have some left, I don't know, does any of you guys live in Toronto? I might find a way to give them to you. Maybe not. But yeah, Paranorman. Check it out. Ticket. But yeah, basically, if you ever want to host something and hand out prizes, all you gotta do is just ask people and be like, "Hey, can I have some free things?" And they're usually like, "Yeah, whatever." It's intimidating at first. You need assistance with Ustream? No, I don't. Ustream bot. This show will probably. Katie's not here, so I got no one to play off of as far as talking about things. So we'll probably wrap it up at around 10 o'clock. It'll be a shorter episode today, unless you guys have some stuff you want to throw my way to talk about. Because I already showed you through my efforts this crazy long tutorial of how Google Plus works, and whether you liked it or not. That's how things are gonna be from now on. Boom. So what are you guys up to? Having fun? I haven't eaten yet, so I'm losing my consciousness. Tell me how your life is going. What is going on? I had a list of things. Recently rewatched, if you're following the tweets, recently rewatched The Yellow Submarine. The old Beatles animation. Have you guys ever seen that? It's curious. I used to watch it all the time as a kid. We just played it all the time. And it's a weird movie because you can hardly call it a movie. It's more of an experience because it's all these cartoon characters who are supposedly the Beatles, and they run around and there's music and there's blue meanies and stuff. And it seems every couple of years or so I learned something new about the Yellow Submarine that I didn't know before. A couple of years back I found out that as a kid you believe what you see, I suppose, and I found out years later that none of those voice actors were actually the Beatles. None of them, like Ringo, Paul, all of them were actors, British actors who just kind of did caricatures. If you compare them, they sound nothing alike. They sound nothing like the Beatles. So that was the old thing I learned. And recently, watching the DVD, I found out some more interesting stuff about the voice actors. One of them, I think it was the voice of John, was actually an ex-Russian, a war escapee, he a draft dodger or something like that, and he left Russia in the war, or draftmanship, whatever they call it. And halfway through recording the Yellow Submarine, he got arrested and dragged back. So they had to get some other guy to switch John's voice or something like that. So always new stuff comes up with that show. There's always something new about the Yellow Submarine that you just didn't know before. Keeps coming back, keeps haunting you one way or another. We got some suggestions. We'll make our own tutorial and post it on Tumblr. Alright, Fluxfox is going to make a tutorial. That's great. Topic idea. Creativity is hard, says TV Dinner. Okay, we can do some workshopping. So let's do a little improv. So TV Dinner. Well, let's set the scene. Can we get a location? Where's a place something can happen? I'm just going to show you how easy creativity can be. I just need a location. I can't think of one right now. and thus proving the point. The moon. All right, the scene is the moon. What is TV dinner's occupation? Any suggestions from the crowd? Like chat room improv. I don't know if it's the most popular thing on a Wednesday night, but jockey. All right, so TV dinner's the moon jockey, and what's now I need like a conflict. What's the conflict for this moon jockey? We need like to set the stage. What's the if you go on the hero's journey, what is our catalyst? You're all missing Katie now, aren't you? You're like, I wish she was here to talk to this guy. He's losing his mind before our very eyes. There's literally no one responding to his verbally. He's talking to himself. All right, well, moon jockey. What does the moon jockey ride? All right. Creativity begins. So I'm just a guy walking by near moon jockey. Oh, hey, moon jockey. Now you gotta use your creativity and respond to me. Hi. Response was hi. We're off to a good start. Why would you suggest creativity is a hard thing? Creativity is a brilliant thing. I think motivation is the hard thing, honestly. Creativity, it can get tired if you're looking for specific and good creativity. But creativity, I firmly believe, never goes away. Like you can feel strained if you're just not getting something that you like out of it. But like honestly, I have this box. What's in it? That's creativity, right there. Because 3 things just happened right there. 1, I asked you to think of something that's in the box that doesn't exist. 2, I invented a box that doesn't exist. I used my creativity to pick up this box that I assume you saw me carrying in your mind's eye. You weren't just like, that's not a box. What's he doing? Use your creativity to see that. So creativity actually is, I believe, is a lot easier than you give credit for. I think it's motivation is the hard thing. The motivation to use said creativity. I've had a rough work day, graphic novel wise. Yeah. Is this like a writer's block kind of situation? Like when you just don't know how to get a character out of something? Because that can happen. That sucks. I've actually done a lot of research recently on, well, not too much research, but a bit of research on writing and things like that. And there's a lot of ones going around, like this 27 tips from Pixar and stuff on writing. And one of them was, if you get into writer's block, start thinking of everything your characters wouldn't do in that situation. And you gradually kind of root out something that's more plausible, in an interesting way. So if our moon jockey, needs to get through the back door of the local Pog bodega, but he doesn't want to use violence against the bouncer, what's he going to do? And we're like, that's hard. Well, let's think of everything he isn't going to do. And that list is literally endless. It could be very mundane, too. Like right now, it could be like, he could get a pile of sand and flick each grain at the door, gradually wearing it down over many years. And that's how he'll get through. That's one feasible thing. That could be used as a punchline. That could be used as the actual canon event. And then you just have the text saying, like, 30 years later, there's a solution. Anyway. That's actually pretty good. If I do say so myself. But that kind of stuff. So there's always a solution. Or maybe there isn't. Some TV shows write themselves into a corner and they just can't get out because the only thing worse than writer's block is expectations. And sometimes those can never be met. Because everyone, in their mind, the name of this episode is the Pog Bodega. Sometimes people just write themselves into a corner and you cannot match the expectations to get out. It goes back to what Abrams was saying. If you watch his TED Talk or whatever, it's, once again, about a box. A box is more interesting when you don't know what's in it. And once it's open, there's no more... it's like the process of getting to the solution is often always, more fun and entertaining than finding out what it actually is. Because, it could either be amazing or it's like, oh... either you had a better idea or you didn't have a better idea, but you at least expected it to be better than that. So that's if I had to scale the order of difficulties, it's creativity, motivation, expectations. Because people have great expectations for a lot of things. But, that's why a lot of us go into movies with low expectations in hopes that we're just, like, blown away by the simplest things. That's where it's like, yeah, I didn't care at all. But, I try not to get too excited. Like, in some movies, I'm just sitting here right now, I'm thinking, like, Hobbit, I'm excited for. I don't know what else. It's really nothing like, I'll check out that one with a guy in his face. Total Recall. There you go. I started illustrating a new location and realized my vision of it was less complete than I thought it was. Like I say, unfortunately, this is an illustration thing, so maybe... I guess when we say less complete, do you mean just like you feel like you need to draw more, or you mean like something more grounded, like you need more realism, more foundation for why things are where they are? I was actually talking to someone a while ago, one of the creators on Flight, and she was saying like she had like floating ships, and I was just talking about what is in each department or how the ship operates and stuff, and it was interesting actually just trying to rationalize why everything works the way it does, even if it's fantastical. If you watch the Red Letter Media reviews of Star Trek and Star Wars, mostly Star Wars, Mr. Plinkett and stuff, on the Star Trek episode, they're talking about how things are science fiction versus science fantasy. In Star Trek, you basically had to be as close as possible to like say why things work, why warp drives work, why engines work, why things are, and where things are located, and how stuff works. Meanwhile, Star Wars, on the other hand, was just like the point of a spaceship was to get from point A to B. It doesn't matter how warp speed works or hyper jump. It doesn't matter how anything works. It's just there because it's awesome. It's the Axe Cop theory. It's just it exists because it's amazing. I don't need to explain why it exists. But then unfortunately, the prequels had to explain everything, and that's why we kind of got into this problem, because it's like sometimes you can't leave enough as enough. It kind of goes down to like what I see recently where anytime there's like a reveal where characters were, I think I mentioned this previously, but like where characters are related, it's like, and he was his brother. Damn! It's like really like, oh, okay, we're talking about Korra actually. Sorry, there's no spoilers, but someone is someone's brother, and it's like, that means nothing. It's like we have this whole built-up expectation that reveal of someone being related to someone else is such a big deal now, but it's like, people do things regardless if they're related. Like, he's going to blow that up if he has a cousin or not. He's going to put on a helmet if he has a sister-in-law or not. It's just like, we're kind of overrun that plot point. It is 9:53. We're going to be wrapping things up soon, so... Whoa, it's storming out there. Gonna be wrapping things up soon. So if you guys have anything else you want to throw my way, once again, I apologize for the weird demonic audio you guys had to be interfaced with. But beyond that, I taught you about YouTube, Google Plus. I'm still talking. What we got going on here? Getting stuck is sometimes hard to deal with. I tend to put it down, go look back at the things that normally inspire me and relax me. Yeah, that's true too. A lot of people, it's often good to go away, because often you'll kind of naturally come to something else that, it's sometimes a less stressful approach to creativity. Also, is creativity in itself. It helps it flow better, because if you're like, oh, I gotta think of a punchline, and you're not, it's even the same thing as like if you do a weekly comic, and it's about like your funny life and stuff that happens. But if you're not living a life, you're getting no influence. You're getting no inspiration. So, if you're stuck in a scenario, but you haven't even lived that scenario, or I'm not saying you have to live everything, but it's kind of like if you haven't gone out and experienced life a bit to get more perspectives on how people deal with things, on how solutions can come about, or how sporadic or weird people can be, you may not appreciate that at the moment because you're just trying to think of what's a rational way to conclude this scenario. As opposed to being like, oh, people do weird things all the time. Maybe I could try that. You're like, oh, something like that. I don't pretend to have all the answers. I'm just trying to like regurgitate all those like positive writing things people say all the time. Like, write in the morning because at night you suck at writing and stuff like that. Which is weird because I tend to write at night more than ever. I don't know why. I was up till 4 last night, which is why I was falling asleep today at work. I was like, ugh. Not good. It was near the end of the day though, so don't worry. But it's that bad tiredness where like you can't just like grab a coffee. It doesn't matter. You'll just be like the problem was I was going through audio libraries of music, and so like I'm trying to find music for this commercial thing. And every song I played, I started like drifting and hearing the song and building stories in my brain. Then I wake up like, oh shoot, next song, and then I start drifting and another world begins. I'm like, this is weird. If only I was that tired at night, that'd be nice. Like being able to fall asleep against your will. That would be splendid. 9:55, wrapping up on the hour, guys. Doo-doo-doo. We need another cameo from John Lasseter. That spices things up. I don't even know where that file is. Yeah, if I had more prep, this episode kind of became a one-man show very late in the game, so I didn't have time to call my good buddy John Lasseter to make a guest appearance. You can find that episode, probably, I think it's on YouTube by now. Yeah, just going back about the YouTube stuff. All the old episodes are gradually being uploaded to YouTube, so you can check them out there ad-free. See them on Shenanigans Live YouTube account. It'd be fun, fun, fun. Watch it there. Yeah. So you don't have to go to Ustream and watch all these ads. I'm harking on Ustream all bad, but it's like, you know, at least they gave us the opportunity to make videos. So we should be grateful that they had a semi-functioning chat room software and video that wouldn't go demonic and audio. You know, good job, Ustream. Anything else coming up? Event-wise, yeah, you got people are again like texts and things and talks. Con Bravo is coming up, as I mentioned before, so if you're in the Toronto or Burlington area, or just willing to come out and visit, that's happening. Things will be going on. We got the angry video game nerd, James Rolfe. Is going to be there. He's also actually going to be at ANC Games in Toronto at Spadina and Thing. Just south of Spadina and Bloor. He's going to be there from 2 till 5 on Friday doing signings and stuff, so if you have like a Power Glove, you can bring that out and get signed. Good times. I'll probably be at work, so I'm going to miss that. Yeah, even if I do meet him, I don't know what I'd say, because I'd just be like, hey, what's up, man? So yeah, I laugh at your things. But I never really know what to say to people who I'm like, oh, I know them from places. I'm so intimidated. I can't speak to you. A couple of the guests, of course, from a lot of, what's it called? Blip TV, I think. Yes. Unfortunately, I don't really pay attention to a lot of that stuff. But Project TV, Channel Awesome Guys, with Glasses, whichever it is, all that good stuff. They're all going to be there at Con Bravo as well. Spoonie, I don't really know who that is. I don't know anything. I'm horrible. Nostalgia Critic. I still get kind of mixed up with that, because for a good while I was watching those Power Ranger recap reviews of seasons, but it wasn't the Nostalgia Critic. It was like some other guy who was also on that site doing it. And that was weird. But good show. It was actually really interesting to see how Power Rangers have evolved throughout the years. Or especially like how they were interpreted. Linka did those. He will be there. Hey, Linkara. I can say hi to Linkara. Anywho, time's running out. Oh gosh, I'm so tired, but I gotta get a TPC episode shot and done, because I don't even know if I'm gonna be around tomorrow night to do it. I didn't do an episode this week because I was busy doing things. Yes, there we go. Righty. Well, you guys who are actually here probably already know, but Shenanigans Live is the weekly show. It's on Wednesdays, usually around 7:30. At least used to be. More around 9. Katie will be here hopefully next week. Otherwise, you can also see her at Con Bravo. She's a community guest doing the drawings. You can find her comics over at SillyKingdom.com. You can buy the paper version for $4. No, that's wrong. $10. Get it signed. The digital version is $4. Get it downloaded. Great good times. Cautionary Fables and Fairy Tales. Also something you want to check out at CFF. T. There you go. .bigcartel or /bigcartel.com. Buy that book there. Lots of artists and writers in an anthology collection. There's other stuff coming up. I can't think of it right now because I gotta eat a thing or two. You guys should eat a thing or two too as well. I'm gonna leave you on that note because that's all I've got. And the show has to end at some point or else we'll keep going. So have yourselves good nights. Keep yourselves up to date on things that happen. Cheers.